Hey everybody, and welcome to the Friday writing sprints. I was messing with my camera just a second ago, so hopefully it doesn't just go kerplunk. Because you're like, oh, I think it's just a teeny bit unbalanced. Not a good choice. So welcome to the Friday writing sprints, which we have almost every Friday at 4 o'clock Eastern. And these are more the fun ones where you can ask me questions about whatever you're working on, and we can talk about writing in general. So the Monday one, I'm a little bit distracted because we just had Hurricane Helene come through here last night, and it really didn't even touch down in the Tampa Bay area, which is where I live. It was 60 miles offshore, but oh my gosh, there are a lot of branches and things down, and luckily we didn't have any flooding or anything like that. We live a little bit up, not uphill, but like a little bit at a higher elevation than the seawater. And I also put in this massive rain garden a couple years ago to tamp down a lot of the flooding that we could possibly get. So we've been kind of scattered, having to, call insurance and things like that. Anyways, nice to see you, Wendy and Miss Blogger. And I was just telling everybody the Monday manuscript feedback is at 3 o'clock, and that's where I'm going to pick a few random people from those who have submitted to the Google form, and I will put that link in later to give you guys some feedback on your book, because it's a nice, easy opportunity to get a little bit of feedback on a little bit of your book. But the cool thing is I've been working my butt off all week to get the romance novel course, wrong link there, romance novel course up for pre-order. And I am so excited that I managed to do that. So I'm going to put 2 codes into the chat right now. These codes are to get $20 off. And if you order the course before October 2nd, which is when it goes live, so you only have to wait like 5 days. If you order the course before then you get an extra 10% off. And those of you that are on the early bird list that are in my circle community, I'll send you this code as well, so don't worry about missing it. And you can order the course right now, and it'll go live on Wednesday. And I'm going to put the link up there, and hopefully everything works, because you never really know with technology until somebody else does it and tells you they're having a problem. So that should be the link to the course. And those of you who are on my circle community know that I tried really hard to keep it within the circle community, but they nickel and dime every little thing, and so I would have had to upgrade to a much bigger package and all of this just to put a single course on there. So I went with Thinkific instead, because it seemed to have the best options all around. So thank you, Hefamo, for letting me know, and thank you for jumping right on that. So there's 2 codes in there, one for $20 off the course and another for an extra 10% off if you sign up before October 2nd. And I have 2 lessons left to learn, which I was hoping to get done before the writing sprints today, but alas, I did not. Nice to see you here, Doug, and Mo as well. And yes, not too much damage. My husband's windshield was cracked, but I think Safe Light's already come out and fixed that today while I was working. They're nice to see you there. Hepamo, you do not have to do the class live. It will not be live, actually. It is a self-paced course. Everything is already loaded in there. You guys look at it whenever you want, and it's an evergreen course, so you can look at it, pop back in, and look at it anytime you want. You have lifetime access. You got to remember to put that into the pre-order information, lifetime access. Because that's definitely something that is a plus for that. Because once you have the access to it, you have the access to it. You don't have to pay again to access it down the road. So I dropped my assistant a note to add that to the materials that we're putting out. And there's, like I said, 10 sections to it. So I did a lot of stuff. And there's a ton of extra video links to existing videos on the channel. But the course has like 9 or 10 all new videos that are specific for writing a romance that are not on the channel, that will not be on my YouTube channel. So you will only be able to see these through the course. So that way you guys are getting something that is specific to that genre. And hopefully that helps a lot. And wow, Ohio still the remnants of the hurricane shutting the power on and off. Ours flickered so much last night, and our power has gone out on every big storm, not even like just the hurricanes, like any kind of a big storm, every single time for 3 years straight. And it was the first time that it did not go out. So we were super excited. We kept knocking on wood, hoping it didn't happen. Anyways, if you're watching the replay, what we do is for 15 minutes we write, and then in between we talk about writing and problems everybody's having, or whatever celebrations they have, whatever you guys are doing with your writing. And I play a little music and we get some stuff done. Oh, and I have a writing prompt. I did add one. So I want you to put the character in a room that scares them, because last night let me do this the other way so I can talk. Last night I was reading a really scary book, and I dropped like a pen or something on the floor, and I went to get it. And you know how it is with like under the bed, we have a bed skirt. And I was just like, what if there was something under there watching me? And of course, then I freaked myself out, even though I know rationally there is nothing under the bed watching me. And I had to like watch a little TikTok to kind of get my mind off of all of the possibilities of the ways that could go wrong. Because when you write something scary, or you have a good imagination as a writer, the whole world scares you if you let it. So anyways, so I'd like you guys to put your character in a room that scares them. I know, right? I read all the time, so I read a lot. You wouldn't believe how many books I go through in a week. And Wendy, sorry, you guys have the high winds up there too. So let's do 15 minutes of writing. And then when we come back, I can answer some questions if you guys have any, or we can just chit chat. I'm going back to the old music today, because those of you who were on my career writer thing yesterday, I had problems with the music. I'm thinking that was just my internet from the storm, but we're going to stick with the regular music just in case. Always goes so fast, just when I think, oh, I've got plenty of time, and then I realize I don't. Nice to see you, Silver Ollie. Good to see you here. And Miss Blogger, I did see your question on the channel, and I know you don't have the money to join the course, and I totally appreciate that and get that, but you also have to appreciate that I cannot teach you an entire course in how to write a romance in the comments of the channel. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's impossible. And it also wouldn't be fair to the people that are taking the course. I'm happy to answer questions, but I can't do that in super depth because it's not fair to everybody else. And it's also super hard because explaining it, you know, in a comment is difficult. That's why I use videos and handouts. And in the course, you guys are getting a ton of handouts, especially if you have never taken a course with me before. You all know I have a handout for everything. So there are a lot of handouts in the course that are going to be available. Great job, Silver Alley and Wendy Beetle. Wendy, why did I say your name out loud? And Hapavo and Doug, great job. Okay, so how do you create emotional progression over a short period of time was Miss Blogger's question, and that is in the scene analysis class. I would highly recommend watching that over and over again so that you can see how I emotionally progressed it. It moves a little bit faster if you're writing a novella. And my biggest tip for that is to have them already have an existing relationship of some sort when the book starts, because you have such a limited window with a novella. You don't want it to go 0 to 90 in 5 pages. So if they're already friends, or they're already enemies, or they're already co-workers, then they have an existing relationship, and you can skip a little bit of that getting to know you part. But you have to show it based on how they respond to the events in the scene. It's all about impact and reaction. And how do you use forced proximity? Well, forced proximity is just a great trope, just to throw them in the same room. And because they're there and they can't escape each other or the same place, it makes for conflict, just built-in conflict, because they're right there in the same place. Yeah, I know I am reading it and it's there, but I didn't say anybody else's last name, Wendy. I don't know. It's just I'm trying to go fast. There are so many free materials out there to analyze and use in order to put your book together. That highlighter method, I know I harp on it a lot, but I swear to God that that is the way that you can learn how to write a book without ever, well, please do subscribe to the channel. You don't have to watch the videos. Without ever really having to do the other stuff, because if you can see the visual roadmap of how a book goes together, it teaches you so much. The minute you apply it to your own books, you're like, that's what I'm missing. I have no romantic conflict. I have no internal conflict. If you can learn how to pick those things out, it will be the best thing you ever did for your writing. And I'm glad Abby did the podcast with Kate. That's great for her. So I'm just not going to do a podcast on it right now. There's only so much bandwidth here. And I do run a full-time company with clients, with employees, with everything else. And I know Abby has a whole bunch of products out there. But I have published 85 books in 24 countries, and I have been on the New York Times list. I've been on the USA Today list. And even though I'm not producing as many content pieces, I have experience that there is not a single human being on YouTube has. And I'm not saying that to be like all egocentric. I literally have more experience than anyone I've ever seen on YouTube, or pretty much anywhere that is teaching, because a lot of authors do not teach. So get your information from where you want to, listen to who kind of gels with what you're hearing and thinking, but realize that there is one me who is doing this channel. You don't see anybody else in the background making these videos, and there is only so much bandwidth and only so many things that I can do. So I am doing my best to record videos as you guys ask for them, on top of the ones that I have planned, and then building courses, building tons of free stuff in the communities, in the newsletter, on every platform that I have. So I'm really trying hard to make sure all that meets your needs. Mo asked about second chance romances. I love second chance romances because I really like, giving these two characters a way to get back together again. The thing with second chance romances that you have to watch out for is the reason for the breakup. So if he cheated on her with 3 girls or something, every reader is going to be like, don't get back together with him. He is a walking red flag. So you really want to look at why did they break up, and have them have enough time to have processed that and be ready to fall in love again, rather than, like middle schoolers, they break up on a Wednesday, they get back together on a Friday, that kind of thing. So look at the breakup and whether they have grown and changed since then, and those things are not going to happen again. And anything that you think your friends would say, that's a red flag, run in the other direction, don't make that the reason they broke up, because that can be really difficult to write about. Not to say it can't be done. Frida McFadden's the inmate, the boyfriend she thinks murdered her best friend. And so she does not want to obviously get back together with him. But as the book goes along, you find out the truth about what happened. And so that creates a window of hope for the reader that maybe they can get back together. So, and thank you, Hefimo. Yes, when you've written and done this for a really long time, like, you learn that so much of it is innate. And I used to be a teacher for like a split second of time. It was my only sort of kind of real job because it's only 9 months out of the year, and I did it when I was pregnant with my daughter. But I really like teaching. I really like speaking, and I've done it my entire career. So my goal is to help 500,000 writers learn how to write a better book, because I don't want to die with all this information in my head. I really want all of you guys out there creating 500,000 really fabulous books, because I read like 6 books a week. So I'd be really happy to have more books to choose from. And yes, I do love forced proximity. I've used it a lot. I had one, I talk about it, I think, in the romance class, where the 2 characters were stuck in O'Hare Airport, because I have been stuck in O'Hare Airport before, not with an ex-boyfriend, just some strangers, but I did use that as a trope for a romance novel that I wrote. And thank you, Skeeter. Yes, it's a lot to be a content creator. It really is, because there's so much behind the scenes that you don't realize until you become a content creator yourself. Like, when I got talked into doing this channel, and not talked into, like, I had a consultant that said to me, you absolutely should create a channel around the writing compelling fiction book you have. And he's like, it's easy. It's not easy. If you look at my early videos and how crappy the editing was, because I knew zero about editing, nothing, and then how far they've come in a year and a half, and that's all self-taught. No, I didn't take a course on how to edit videos. I've learned it all by myself, and I'll still make mistakes. There'll be like sound things or little clips that are glitches or whatever, because I am definitely not perfect, and this is not my area of expertise. But there's a lot that goes into planning, creating, editing, recording it, all of it. Like the 12-minute video that I released on Monday took me 15 hours to edit. So it took me, I don't know, I think I recorded for 20 minutes. I had a couple hours of planning about what I was going to talk about. So you look at that video there, and we're talking 20-ish hours to go into creating a 12-minute video. So it's a lot. It really is. But I love doing it. I love teaching. I love the feedback from you guys. I love helping you guys. I love seeing the people that submit their stuff for masterminds or feedback, and seeing them grow and change and see them get better. That makes me so excited, because it's like they get it, and I love when that happens. Have I made a series of videos on tropes? No, but there will be one in the romance course. I haven't done a lot of genre-specific videos on my channel, just because I want to appeal to a wide variety of people. And also, I always knew I was planning to do a romance course. So as I record other stuff, I may put some romance specific videos on the channel, and maybe add some other things to the course. Like, let's say I take the tropes one, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'll record something like this for the channel. Well, I'll do something a little bit more specific or more in depth for the course, because I don't want anybody who takes the course to feel like they're getting robbed. Like, well, everything's on the channel. So it is in the plan. But plan. Cheryl's always like, I don't even know where you find the time. I don't know where I find the time. It really is a lot. So anyways, I don't want to complain, because I love you guys, and I'm so happy that you're here. And making Insta Love more realistic, and like Wendy says, it is really almost impossible, because think about what I just said to Hefimo. If your friends would look at you and go, that's insane, don't marry him, then maybe it's time to rethink that plot. Insta attraction, absolutely. What Happens in Vegas is a movie where they go and they get married right away, like within an hour of meeting, a couple hours of meeting. That happens, but then they're not in love. They have the whole movie to kind of build this relationship, because they go from lovers to enemies to lovers again. And it's a great kind of construction with that. Instant love is hard to pull off, hard to make believable, because people just don't know each other at all. And it's a major red flag if you're the friend of that person. Where can you ask questions about the course? I think there's a discussion tab right there on the introduction thing, but you can also ask them here or in the Circle community or wherever. I mean, I see comments you guys make wherever you make them. So I could probably put a post up in the Circle community that's about the course questions. I'll make a note to that. And you can also ask them here too. And Miss Blogger, you have so many questions. Have I ever written an Insta Love romance? I think I've made Insta Attraction. I don't think I've ever written Insta Love because, again, it's a massive red flag. Massive. If you find somebody and you love them in 5 minutes, that's a huge red flag. So it's usually not a healthy indication of a relationship. So, it's really hard to pull off because of that, because the reader's going to be going, that's not going to last. You want these characters, if you want to write a book that is memorable. Now, you can write an Insta Love and just pull it off and do what you want with your story because it's your story. But if you want to write a book that is memorable, that grabs the reader right here in their heart, that makes the reader cry, that makes the reader talk about your book, that makes the reader go, I cannot wait to read her next book, then you've got to write realistic, deep, emotional, three-dimensional characters that have quirks and flaws and insecurities and doubts and things that they have to overcome and grow through, because then the reader roots for the love story. The Insta Love, you've already given the payoff to the reader. The reader's like, oh, they're in love. What am I going to read the rest for? Because in a romance novel, they really, really want to see these people earn their happy ending. I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying that it's a lot more difficult and kind of robs the reader of a lot of that experience that they want. And yes, narcissists, been there, done that, not doing it again. Have a mo. The genre expectations of romance include the tension and build up of the relationship being created. Yes, absolutely. Because the reader loves that push-pull. Will they, won't they, will they, won't they? The reader loves that part. That really is a lot of the tension that keeps them turning the pages in the book. And I just read a romance that it was like longer than a normal one. I was probably 110,000 words. And I was just like glued to the page, even though it's billed as a romance. I know it's going to end happily, but I wanted to see how these characters overcame this pretty significant obstacle between themselves. All right, let's do another 15 minutes because I've been talking a lot. All right, 15 minutes, and I'll put the prompt back up and see you guys in a little bit. I've just finished one of the handouts for the course. I was going to work on my book, but I've been doing that all week, and I'm so close to being done putting the course together. So, and how can you tell the difference between want versus need? Well, wants are things that you wish you could have, and needs are things you absolutely must have, like shelter, food, those kinds of things. There's a whole hierarchy of needs with Maslow, with what we actually need, and what we want isn't necessarily what we need. So a character can want to be left alone, but maybe they need to be around other people in order to enjoy their lives and be fully formed people. And next Monday's video, I do not know. I have edited 15 videos this week, but I have not done next Monday's yet. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I have no idea. I'm just really, really trying to get that course out the door. And like I said, it takes a significant amount of time to edit a video, and 10 new ones plus 10 new handouts and 10 new everythings. So I thought I had them recorded already, like I recorded 5 or 6 videos back in December, but I didn't have the good camera, I didn't have the good audio, and so I went back and redid all of them, which meant I had to re-edit them. So good job, you guys. 198, 272, and 200. And when you look at your characters half a mo with what they need, it can be a really great conflict between what they want and what they need. So you're looking at their internal emotional journey. Because, yeah, we all want like a Lexus or, a Land Rover, but that doesn't mean we need one. We just need a regular car. When you talk about it internally, in terms of what this character needs in order to heal and be a full person, that's going to be a conflict in general with what they want, because we don't like to do healing. We don't like to conquer our fears and doubts and anxieties. I heard my Boston accent come out there for a second. We don't like doing that. So a lot of times we want to have solitude. We want to be the first one out the door in a relationship. We want to move on after this relationship that broke up, but maybe we need to heal or be around others, or kind of get used to the idea of being alone. All of those kinds of things. You've got to look at your character and what you think they might need if you were their therapist or their best friend. And that can often be, which is a great thing on your book, in conflict with what they want. Because if you're constantly in conflict between what you want and what you need, I talk about this in the romance course using Pretty Woman as an example a lot, because it's my #1 favorite romance movie. I watch it every time I'm sick. I dig it out from wherever it's at and I go watch it. And that movie's a really great example of what a character needs and what they want, and giving them that conflict in there. So both things are internal. I mean, in a novel, I think you would do both things internally, because Maslow's hierarchy of needs is all about like what we need in real life. Like we need food, shelter, we need other people, we need love and acceptance. Like he has this hierarchy of 5 needs that we have. It's a psychological study that he did. And Tony Robbins talks about that too, like what you need. And a lot of times what we want goes counter to what we need. Like, let's say you needed to lose 100 pounds, but you really wanted that crumble cookie, which I talk about crumble cookies a lot because they're awesome. And so you go and get the crumble cookie, but that's not really what you need. So maybe you needed the orange instead of the crumble cookie, but the crumble cookie is pretty freaking awesome. So what we want and what we need, we often undermine ourselves because we are self-defeating at heart, because it's always kind of scary to do that. And Doug, I'm always going back and correcting my typos. My typing stinks. Yes, mine, thank goodness for like autocorrect, because I type extremely fast, and a lot of times the words are totally misspelled, but the autocorrect will get it. I spell really badly when I'm writing notes to myself. Like there are times, I don't think I have anything here, like, oh yeah, this is my notes from the other night. Like I can't even read what that says. I don't think I can even really decipher it, because I wrote it like last night before I was going to sleep, and I have no idea what I said to myself there. So half the time I can't decipher my handwriting because it's really bad. Over the years it's gotten worse. Let's see, we can fit in a 10-minute sprint, and then Monday is the manuscript feedback, and I'll throw that link in. I should probably do that now while I'm talking about it, because I will forget. The manuscript feedback link is here if you haven't already submitted something. I'm only going to pick a few. I think that there are 7 people or 8 people or all there. And Miss Bob, I just answered that question for quite a while. Oh wait, no, I was just sorry. I thought I saw your question pop up again. You didn't. Fiber One cookie bars, 70 calories a serving. Yes, I used to eat those Fiber One cookie bars for a while. So that is the link to fill in the form if you want feedback on your 200 words on Monday. We're going to do that every other Monday. The holidays will probably get kind of rocky with doing that because, you know, everybody's busy and stuff with that. And again, if you want to sign up for the course early, you get an extra 10% off for being an early bird. I'm going to pop that in before I forget. And that only goes till 10/2 at midnight because that is the day that the course is going to be live. So come hell or high water, I got the 3 more sections or 2 more sections to load, and then it's done. And thanks, Wendy. I'm glad I'm not the only one that has atrocious handwriting. I think because we have gotten so used to these and computers that, you know, we don't have to handwrite as much. All right. Maslow is also the author of saying that if your only tool is a hammer, it's tempting to treat every problem as a nail. Yes, I think that you can see a lot of people with anger management issues, like their only tool is a hammer. You know, hammer these people down and control them or whatever. And then they blow up at every little thing. So yes, that's a great example right there. All right, let's do 10 minutes because I want to get this little bit more done that I was working on, and you guys can get a little bit more done too. And then we'll come back for any final questions. 10 minutes goes by so fast. Okay, guys. Yes. So I'm breaking in and out, Miss Blogger said. Hopefully not still. I had so many issues on yesterday with the stupid hurricane coming through. And Miss Blogger, I did cover how many drafts I write before writing. I did cover how many drafts I go through. Actually, I write the book as I go. I do 3 revisions, and that's it. So that's all covered in the revision videos, which are on the channel. There's a 3-part series there. And let's see. Yes, there is a writing session, but we just finished. 5 minutes left. Yeah, and Hafiza, hopefully I'm saying it's right. I really do like, I have the same name as the healer in Throne of Glass, which I have not read. Half a Mo, can a character be driven by more than one fear? Does one have to dominate to keep the book stronger? Yes, in general, we usually have one dominant fear, and then we have lots of little ones, right? Like, the main fear that we have of abandonment or of hurt or whatever we're afraid of is what's going to drive most of our behavior, because we're going to avoid hurt just like anybody else would, and your character will too. And then we can all have lots of other little fears underneath. But if you look at the people in the movies that you watch and in the books you read, I know I say this a lot, and you look at the people that are around you, like I do this all the time, don't tell my friends, but I do analyze them myself and think, okay, what would I think of this person as a character? What is their top fear? What is driving them to say this or do this? And it is a good exercise in general, because it does make you more empathetic to other people, especially if you're feeling cranky like I was today. Sorry if I was cranky, guys. But it does help you to kind of see what other people need and want. And it can help you develop your characters, because if you understand what drives normal human behavior, you can totally apply it to characters, because characters are just pretend humans. They're exactly the same otherwise. And Kirsten plotted a story from beginning to end. That is excellent. And everybody else, Wendy got lots of words, and you know, I've already forgotten it. Visa, I'm going to forget your name by next week. I'm already warning you, and I'm sorry in advance because I'm terrible with name. And Half a Mo, my course goes live October 2nd. So you only have to wait like 5-6 days. It's very short period of time. I'm not somebody that really likes to wait. Like when I decided to do those career building writing sessions, I posted it out in the community, and like 2 hours later, I'm like, okay, let's do it. So yeah, I'm very, very much a fast operator kind of person. I'm not very patient. I'll pop the link in one more time for the course if you guys want to sign up and get the early bird discount. And if you scroll back, well, I'll throw the links in anyways, the coupon codes in anyways, just in case anybody that's trying to slate wants to do that. So you can pre-order it and get more money off so that you can have it. And it is a lifetime access. That course will be there forever. And if I do end up doing one of those topics on the channel, I will probably load an extra video for the course people to kind of make up for that. So, and Kirsten wants everyone to be a way to explore all the different possible outcomes in your novel. The protagonist will be the one who gets it right at the end. I do kind of like those sort of movies. Like, we watched Dark Matter, and that's all about like this box that opens up multiple different lives you could possibly live, and it was really cool. I'm very excited that it's going to get another season. It was good. And I think that sounds like a really interesting approach there. Kirsten, all the characters make the same decision as the protagonist and discover the truth that has been hidden from them the entire story. I like that. I love truth and lies and secrets. And Doug has a character looking at his own dead body with a man who looks like John Steed of the Avengers. Now I know how to get out of this situation with it being a dream. Yes. My husband knows I hate dream sequences. Lots of people like them, but I hate them. And we were just watching It Comes at Night. Don't waste your time on it. Did not like it. It was a dumb movie because nothing came at night. There was like no monster. And all of the scary parts were just dreams. And my husband, when it came to the last one, he goes, just look away. It's a dream. You know you're not going to like it. Because I'm one of those people that just does not care what other people dreamed about. Absolutely doesn't care, because it doesn't impact my day-to-day life. But sometimes they can be really interesting and cool. And they can be a great device for throwing the reader off guard. So, all right, so Monday is at 3 o'clock for the manuscript feedback, and then we'll probably have a career writer session on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, I am going to Atlanta to go speak at the Moonlight Magnolias conference, so there will be no writing sprints next Friday. I'm pretty sure I'm in the middle of a workshop that I'm going to on Friday next week, so I won't be able to do it. And I will be back again the week after. October is kind of a dicey month because I travel quite a bit, and I'm traveling a little bit in November. So I'll keep you guys updated. Just watch for the live on the channel. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'm seeing half a mo, and remembering that I should say that. Be sure to like and subscribe and click notify me on the live so that you know when they come up, and that way you can be here when we do this. And quick question: how do you put yourself emotionally in the shoes of a character who experiences things you've never done or been a part of? I am literally writing that handout for the romance course right now. It's really about research, and then really knowing that character and how their past has impacted them. And thank you all for being here in Sendero. Sorry, we're just now we're in the Eastern time zone. Yes, I am in the Eastern time zone. I'm in Florida, but Helene just kind of skirted us. Still had a lot of damage even so. So thank you all, and I will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.